Hi there, welcome to another pick a card reading. This one is very different. This one is a little bit, let me just position. Sorry, my bad. So I've got my coffee. Sorry. I've got my three piles. I've got some weird three different decks for apparently three different piles, and I've got this deck for clarifier. Okay, so I think I just would like to start with a disclaimer that this reading is very challenging to accept, to sit through. Again, like, I'm not saying that you're not capable or anything of that sort. I'm just saying that this is something that I've learned through my spiritual journey. Yes, if you want credentials or citations, nobody taught me, but this is my own experience and own learnings that I've learned to evolve in a way where I feel more comfortable with myself, like being in this energy. Okay, so yeah, with that, let's start. So today's topic is, what would contradicting yourself, or if you were to contradict yourself, how would the rewards show up in your life, or what rewards would show up in your life? So let me just start with contradicting, and then I'll connect it to the rewards, because usually when you think, like, contradicting is basically you go opposite to whatever you have thought, you felt, right? So the way contradiction works, especially when you've stepped into your spiritual power, is it is always going to make you feel empowered rather than misleading. It is always going to guide you through situations where you do not have any template or any rule book or any guidance to follow through. Okay, this is a very interesting topic, and this was inspired by one of my friends. I hope if you're watching this, you get it, but if you don't, so anyways, it is inspired by her situation, and it was like one of those situations when you're guiding someone, when you're trying to make them understand. I was trying to make her understand about this certain thing that she was hell-bent on. Like, she was just fixated on one thing. So I told her, like, listen, when you are playing between good and bad and two extremities, you will always find yourself guilty for falling either or. Okay, so this is where this thing comes in, contradicting yourself. Okay, so I gave her my example, saying that I am a very spiritual person, like, of course I consider myself like in the highest and in the most beautiful light ever, but I come across people who, like, are also determined to test me in a way. Okay, yeah. So the kids are like happy and playing the game, so please just ignore that. Anyways, so I have met people who are very determined to prove me wrong or project on me or show their insecurities in a way where they would like to put me down. That's when I contradict my spiritual side and I step into what they are. That doesn't mean that I'm abandoning who I am. That doesn't mean that I am, being like them. It is just me being a mirror, me saying that if this is how you chose to behave with me, even when I am being so kind to you, okay, let me give you a taste of your own medicine. Okay, so simply just putting it in that sense. Again, this is not just to take revenge or anything. It is when that it comes on me and my, like when you want to point out like how ethical, or when it comes down to my principle, of course I'm going to make you pay for like getting this reaction out of me. But I mean, of course you triggered it, so of course you are going to be the person who benefits it from the most, right? But okay, so I don't know if it's heavy or if it's, I have no clue how this reading is going to end up, but here we are. And this is a very important thing, because let me tell you one thing, that learning this has made me self-aware, has made me understand that I don't need like a couple of conversations to understand someone, or like to even understand what their intention is with me. This method that I follow for myself, right, it has made me aware of my intuition so deeply that I'm able to filter people based on just one glance. Again, it would sound like I am literally like just praising my own self, but I am here, okay, sitting across the screen from you, and I'm sharing this with you. So I hope that is a clear enough intention and action to help you understand that this is all in the name of goodwill, and to help you come out of your own cage. Okay, so I'm gonna just sip a coffee sip my coffee. Oh, I got my nails, I just painted them, so you might just see like it's like raw. So anyways, I love this color. So I'm gonna just show you a piles, and then I'm gonna take a sip, and then you can meditate on your pile and you can choose whichever you want. Okay, so you have 3 different decks. I'm choosing Daily Healing, I'm choosing the Secret Garden, and From the Heart. Either you can choose these decks. Okay, or I've got some interesting trinkets for you to choose from, because these are like something, yeah, this is like my refrigerator magnets. So this is like a cat illustration magnet. Okay, this is Home is a Place of Relaxation, Rest and Tranquility. This is another refrigerator magnet. It has got like some ceramic tile thingy happening. I love the artwork. It's landscape. I love landscape. And then you have this magnet. It's a clip. Okay. So it's a little bit dusty. Sorry, my bad. I did not check it thoroughly. But yeah, you can meditate on your piles, and then let me know whichever you selected, right? So yum. Okay, let me just okay, so we will start with pile number 1. So pile number 1, let's see what your energy is, and let's see how would you contradict yourself? Or, so if I just saw 1001, so you're definitely a mirror. I would tell you that your archetype is a mirror. The way you exist is gonna trigger people. So yeah, sorry, I just thought like my mom is gonna reach out to me. Anyways, yeah, so the way you exist is, it's gonna be triggering for people. Even you breathe, it's gonna be triggering for people. Now, are these people immediately in your surroundings, or are they your friends? Are they your family? Are they gonna be triggered by everything you do, or are they gonna be triggered by only specific things that you feel good about yourself, and they're like, no bro, I don't feel good about myself, so I'm gonna be triggered. Right? So again, we don't know the details, but one thing we know is you are a mirror. Okay, you are gonna make people see what they are, because you exist completely opposite to themselves. So I just saw 1111, so that must be another sign. So let's just dive into what is your energy, and based on that we'll find out how can you be contradicting yourself. So you have, remind yourself that you are a soul spirit being. Okay, then you have learned to keep your heart open and soft through the trials of life. And then you have, take time to acknowledge the subtle changes in your spiritual evolution. Okay, so yeah. Okay, pile number 1, who chose this cat magnet, or daily healing cards, affirmation cards. These are like an affirmation cards. Okay, so okay, like I said, like I went really strong in with the mirror because the number triggered that. However, I do feel like you're not aware of this concept yet. With your energy, I would say that you're not aware of why people are acting a certain way and why are you the culprit, right? Again, this is with people's perspective, not yours and not mine either, or not spirits either. It's just what they have decided for themselves. Okay, one thing I would tell you, pal number 1, is you are someone who has a certain understanding that comes to your friendships and your family. Okay, this is where I do feel you need to heavily contradict yourself, because when it comes to your friends and your family, they have benefited with you being a very available person. I would say they have benefited with you being, like I call pile number 1, and pile number 1 is immediately present for me. So then with learn to keep your heart open and soft, I do feel you have to always had to be the bigger person even when the situation was unfair. Okay, so when I say bigger person, it's always like when you know that this person in front of you is not capable or is disabled in a way where they can't physically or emotionally process what has happened, and it's between you and them, right? So here I'm considering like a toddler who has no idea that they just hit you out of this rage because you were not complying to them, like playing in the mud because it's unsafe. They don't know the repercussions, right? So you just stop them. That's where I'm saying that there is this inability to process emotions because the toddler was never taught, and you are the I would say the adult here, right? So you are the person who understands the consequences of things, and you were trying to teach them, right? But when it comes to fully grown adults, you are still taking that hit from them when they're supposed to like be there for you. Okay, when it's literally your, I would say, it's not your responsibility for. I just feel like speechless because I get it where you're coming from. I get it, like confronting adults, especially family, it's very, very difficult because they are, I don't know, they consider themselves that they love you, but they act in a way that is completely opposite to it. So I would consider, like in such cases, like yeah, the A and B person, right, is, in this case, if you are A, so then the person B is not capable of showing up for you like that. So that would be person B, right? And it's not because they were limited, it's because when they're given the chances, they don't reflect on it, okay? Or in some cases, they don't even know what the concept of reflecting, okay? Like in my case with my family, they do not understand what reflection is, what, looking at your own actions means. They just feel like I'm just being too smart. Like how in Indian households they say, like, don't be over smart. I love this coffee. On a complete different side note, I was at a movies just like an hour ago, and I watched that movie Obsession with my sister, and oh my god, the coffee was so horrible. I don't know what they do it, like it's so expensive, but why is it so horrible? Isn't like expensive things supposed to be better? But anyways, I was like, I'll just go home and make myself a better one. And this is so much better. I can make like 10 more batches in that amount. But anyways, this is my budgeting mind talking. So anyways, yeah. So I do feel your energy is more to open. It is more so giving, it's empathetic, it's providing energy, it's I can also call you like a masculine energy. You can be literally a woman watching this, because when I say masculine, it's when you see someone struggling and your instinct or your I would say energy responding to that need is to be that answer, to be a solution. So if you're someone who has like a more solution based approach to your family and friends, I would say that that is your masculine energy. Now I'm not saying that oh, you're a female, you need to be in your feminine. No, you have both. Okay, females, biological female, by the anatomy, should embody both the feminine and masculine energies. Okay, that's where they embody that, both that entire Shiv Shakti concept and the yin and yang. Okay, they are like complete now. It's not like, oh, you need someone else to complete you. Okay, so now that we are on the same page, I'll continue. You are in your masculine energy, and this is what your family has been benefiting of. Okay, now I would like you to be contradicting yourself by being in your feminine energy, which is receiving. Like, what would you do for me, or let's say if like I move this thing for you, would you be moving this thing for me? And let's say if that person says no, and then you're like, okay, fine, this is the last time I'm speaking to you, or this is the last time we are having this conversation, or this is the last time I am helping you out. Okay, so with that said, my mom is praying, so please just excuse the or maybe you can just enjoy. I don't know what your inclination is, or you're very thorough religious, but anyways, so yeah, anyways, coming back to your deck, Yeah, so when you are in that energy, you naturally attract like that. And since your friends and your family have been benefiting from that, you need to set a boundary with them. And when you set a boundary, it's not just going to be like, since you did not do this for me, I am not going to do this. You need to show up in a way, okay? You need to like be present. You need to embody this side of you that exists within you, that is going to say no without explanation. Now, for some people it's going to be very difficult to embody, because what do you mean like say no without explanation, right? Like what do you mean you can like just like say no and walk out? Like I cannot do that, I have obligations and da 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 da. So you have a number of list of things that happens, right? But in this case, you need to practice. When it happens once, practice saying no. Just say no. If you feel uncomfortable, just like explain in one sentence only. Like you set yourself in a light where this contradiction is going to serve you rather than take from you, okay? Sorry. This coffee is too good and I just can't let it go cold, okay? I chugged it, don't worry. Because this reading is getting very interesting, okay? So, if you get it, if you got what I just said, okay, now we're gonna step into more details. And then we're gonna go in rewards. Because listen, when you are contradicting your own energy, when you are saying that behaving like this is going to be termed as good and behaving like this is going to be termed as bad, what you do is you try to push yourself into these either extremities. What you don't understand is you need to stay neutral. That does not mean that you can be bad or you have to be good. Neutral, staying neutral is being in power of your own energy, okay? So that would look like, let's say in this scenario, or like let's talk about that movie Obsession, right? So like my sister, when she watched the movie, she was saying that how her friend was bad and how he was this and that. So I immediately understood that she is kind of watching this through a lens of whom should I blame for all of this ruckus, or all of this mess, or all of this chaos, right? But then there is another perspective where I come in. So I was saying, what if this is not about being right or wrong? What if this is just simply that guy never considering the consequences of his own actions? So if you lay out an equation, okay, and trust me, I'm the worst person who would talk about math because I hate maths, never understood it, and I don't know how I aced it, but okay, I did. Again, aced it. My aced is like me just passing. Okay, so like yeah, back off. But yeah, so when you consider that in an equation, when you take a certain action, it will always have a consequence, right? On the other side of that equal to, there will always be a consequence, there will always be an answer. So are you ready to take responsibility for the consequences? That's when you decide the action. So that's the simple math. Now if it's good, it's bad, again it all comes to you. Let's say if that movie was in this situation where I was saying that he has thought about taking accountability for his actions, what would he have done? Right, then it would be completely different, because he did mess up, he did go through the consequences, and now he's taking accountability by making things right, correct? So that's where the neutrality comes in. Like you take into account every possible thing that can happen. That's where your overthinking becomes your power, right? Like you think about things that can go wrong, you think about things that can go right, and you're prepared for both outcomes, right? That's where your overthinking serves you. You are not a slave for your overthinking. Okay, sorry, I just got riled up throughout this reading. If I were yelling, I'm really sorry. I did not mean to, because you are very kind and gentle. I can feel it. Feel it. I don't know why I said feel it. Sorry. Okay, let's see. How can pile number one contradict their energy towards family and friends? You have Four of Cups. Ah, you have Ten of Cups, literally your family coming in through. What about your friends? I don't think your friends are the problem here. And then you have the Tower at the back of your deck. So you have the Four of Cups, okay. You have the Ten of Cups. And then you have the Three of Pentacles when I asked about your friends, right? So I don't think romance is a problem for you, or the love situation is a problem where you need to contradict yourself, because heavily right now, maybe either you're like in a very happy marriage or you're single, okay? I do not sense that in your energy. So if you are like someone who's concerned about your romantic partner, I would suggest like pick a different pile. I don't know if that energy is going to come through, so let's stay open. But you are like concerned, like all of this was relating, and you are like, dude, tell me about my partner as well. Maybe we can do it at the end, okay? So let me just complete this thought, because right now I'm not picking up any romantic partners here, okay? Okay, so you have the Four of Cups. The way you can contradict yourself, pile number one, is very efficient, okay? Whatever you think you're gonna lose from being the other side, or the bad, I would say bad side. So let's say if you are a person who has always provided for your family with your help, anything, it doesn't always have to be money. It could simply be like you helping them physically lift anything or move anything, or being that emotional therapist or anything, okay? So you can keep that as a good side, or that is what something you've done or you consider as good, right? And the bad would be the complete opposite of it. Whatever you think that being the complete opposite of what you are right now is gonna make these people let you go, or cut you off, or not consider you as family, that is never gonna happen, because they have always benefited from you being this way. So they are not gonna let you go. Oh, the grinder is heavy. Let me just pause. I was just admiring your cards. It's so pretty. Okay, so yeah, whatever, your family is not going to cut you off. Whatever the worst case scenario is, let me just tell you that is not going to happen, because you're too valuable, okay? Think of this as like a company that's been benefiting from you not raising your voice, that, or your skills, okay, or what you give. Now that you've started raising your voice, now that you've started being moody, or whatever you want to call it, okay, being the bad side of it, like what would they consider as bad side? In fact, being like this is actually making you feel more peaceful, making you understand and making you regulate your nervous system, right? So whatever is that side, right, behaving that way, they're not going to let you go, because they have always benefited from your skills. Skills are never good and bad. It's either like, okay, it fits me or it fits someone else. That's not going to happen. As well as with your friends, I get like mostly your work friends are very this I get this scenario where you are in a group project, and you're made to do all the work, or you like all the work is pushed on your shoulder, and then you have to perform, no matter the physical consequences that you go through because of that overload, right? But then I think you've learned to be the emperor. Like, again, any you could be female, male watching this, any, I'm talking about biology, okay? Yeah, so you've learned to come out as an emperor. You've learned to embody like, okay, that's okay, I'm okay. But it is not, honey. It is actually not. Okay? So you need to start delegating work. Either you do it or F off. Okay? So basically what you doing is just saying no. That is what you can take away from this reading. Okay, now let's get into, anyways, that was a normal conversation happening between my mom and dad, so please don't be alarmed, it's normal. Here you have to yell. Okay, so let's see what are the rewards that you're getting from contradicting yourself. What are the rewards that you're getting from contradicting yourself? Oh my god, I'm not even kidding. So you have the Six of Pentacles and the Star. Okay, and then Three of Cups and then the Tower. Dude, I'm telling you, you are going to be unstoppable. I don't know if you've set yourself, like you've considered, let's say if someone tells you like, no, you are good as an accountant, or you're good as an employee, or like a desk job would suit you, kind of. I literally see your energy once you start contradicting yourself as the CEO of that entire company that you're working. Imagine this potential that you're carrying in this amazing body, and you being just limited by the people who are just taking away all these resources from you. Your rewards are literally reaching the sky. Now it's all up to you if you want to, right? But yeah, your rewards are material, your rewards are physical, your rewards are spiritual. In every way you are winning. Okay, you literally have the Star, and I cannot emphasize enough on this. So I too feel like, again, it all comes down to what you want to do. So that's all I had for you. I hope this made sense, and I hope you watched the intro, because that was quite a story, and if you didn't, I think you should watch for this to make sense. Right, and I'll see you in my next reading. Do like, share and subscribe, honey, because I need it. Bye. Hi, pal number 2. Chose home is a place of relaxation, rest and tranquility. I feel like I do not even need to open your box and shuffle your cards, because I know what your problem is. You open your home for assholes. But let's just get on with it. Yeah, so let's see how is pile number 2 contradicting, should contradict their energy, and what energy they are in right now. Spirit, success. I think so many people rely on you. You not only open your home, you open your resources, you open your wealth, you open your, I would say, it's just like I painted it over my skin, and now it's bothering me every time I look at it. Anyways, so you open your home, your resources, like, come, I've got so much food, it's endless, it's love, and it's all these beautiful things that everyone deserves, and everyone deserves in return, right? When you give, you should take as well. Because you're giving something very valuable, something very priceless. So you should get the same thing in return, or even better, right? Because universe is never on budget. So you have success, beginnings, and listen. Listen, honey. Okay. Yeah, you do that. You just listen. You do not raise your voice. I don't think you've ever raised your voice on anyone. Have you? I don't think so. You're like such a sweet, adorable honey pie, sweetie pie. And all I can say is that I mean, this is a very good place to be, okay? I am very much honored to be in your energy, pile number 2, but I think there is a possibility that you have made this a little bit into a more detrimental thought, or I would say a more detrimental way of showing up, right? Because it's clearly bothering you. So your energy right now tells me that you invite everyone and anyone into your place, your home, your sacred temple. Now that could mean physically as well, intimately as well, and energetically and spiritually is always on the table. So that's not never the question, but yeah, you are a very loving person to the core, okay? I don't see you showing up in a malicious intent, or you having very like foul intentional thoughts, and then you approaching someone and then wanting them to suffer because that's how you feel good. Like, that's how narcissists approach their victims, right? With you, it's more like you've made it an armor, and that armor is actually your nervous system being unsafe for quite a long time. You could also resonate with someone who has a lot of autoimmune diseases. Doesn't have to be. I'm not a doctor. This is not a diagnosis. This is a spiritual reading. So take discernment with this message as well. Okay? Yeah. So this is where you need to contradict yourself, okay? Pile number 1. Sorry, I don't know why I said pile number 1. Pile number 2, I meant. You have the Hierophant. You need to contradict yourself in the way you show up, okay? I want to show you like what it is doing to your body. 5 of Wands. You are constantly at war with yourself. The Hermit, and this is the worst place to be. And then you have the Queen of Wands. So, okay, being constantly at war with yourself looks like, if this person who is in front of me is not approving of my choices, then I need to change it, because that's when they'll approve me. Now, does that mean that person is bad? No, that person wants the best for me, right? So of course I need to show up in a way. But honey, you don't have to when you don't feel like it. You know, when it all boils down to what you feel, okay? So it's literally causing you a lot of distress. You are constantly at war with yourself. You don't realize this since you've considered showing up in this way as an armor. But again, that I would just like to highlight this example of this toxic gym culture that all the women are following. They are following a man's diet. They are very completely oblivious to their own hormonal cycles, their mood swings, their body capacity, the fat percentage that where they thrive, their body's own signature. Because when I say signature, it's more like the way every women's body work, right? Every cycle works. It's never the same. It's never going to be the same. Then comes the genetics, then comes the hereditary diseases that you are already tackling, then comes the environment that you've been brought up to, you know, and then your nervous system, how safe and secure it is, and then your surroundings that you are now going into. All of this matter, baby. All of this is like important, and I don't know why females have just switched it off, because six-pack abs is like a new standard, like a new toxic standard. Because oh, you have a belly fat here, oh no, bite me, bitch. So do you get it? So just because someone else is getting this, good for them. It does not work for me. For me personally, I've like been working out since 5-6 years now, and I've lost my period. And I do have like a fat percentage. You don't see visible veins, right? I do I get like a lot of memory loss and brain fogs, very frequent, and this is not normal. I have a lot of hormonal imbalance diseases that come up, and I'm constantly visiting my gynec and dermat. So whatever percentage that I lost, I just feel like I should just eat and get it back, but it cannot happen because my metabolism is set to a certain standard now, right? But now that I'm taking all medications and blah blah blah, I'm going a little bit more gentle with myself. So you cannot always listen to someone who's never lived your life, who's never been in your body, okay? So my love, this is all boils down to you contradicting is you basically feeling safe in doing whatever you want, if even if it means lifting your finger or standing up. Do you feel like standing up? You say no, I'm a little bit dizzy. Sit, sleep, in fact, make yourself even more comfortable. Take 10 steps ahead to make yourself feel comfortable, but do not go for someone else's approval who has never lived your life, okay? Now let's see what are the rewards that are coming your way. Because definitely contradicting yourself is never going to make you feel bad, okay? Sorry, let me just pause. Okay, so we're going to continue because that was quite an interruption. So pile number 2. The way you can contradict yourself, as you can see your spread as well, you have 5 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, and the Devil. Honey, this is like a warning reading for you because you are going to be you're going to end up losing a lot of friends, and I would say not losing, more like being protected from a lot of friends. When you contradict yourself, it's going to be a little bit more setting some high boundaries and then not settling for yourself, not settling for anything else at all now, okay? This was supposed to be your rewards, but this is just coming off as a warning because not only you have the 5 of Pentacles paired with the King of Pentacles, this is more like a person who's going to drag you through such a chaos that makes you feel like you are the one who was in the wrong, but they become the biggest makes sense, but the biggest victim you've ever seen in your entire life, and they'll make you literally apologize for you standing up for yourself, okay? And they're going to make sure that everyone knows it. Everyone knows how you set a boundary and how it made them feel hurt, and how they cannot take advantage of you anymore. Literally, I'm telling you, this is a very raw I would say a way to look at this, because I'm your reader, right? I'm your tarot reader, so I'm going to give it like a very raw perspective, but they're not going to look at it like that. They're like, oh, pile number 2 has the audacity to say no to me when I've done basically the bare minimum of everything. It's very important for you to just shut this person out, or maybe just I don't know, man. I mean, I don't like this people around you, and this could be like completely based on the energy that I'm receiving right now, but this especially this part is like a warning more than a reward. Although I shuffled more cards, I was like, give them some rewards. I mean, come on. Then you got this 2 of Swords, Justice, and the High Priestess. So it is saying that at first it's going to be a very hellish ride for you, but you're going to see how people would respond to your boundaries, okay? Like, if you were an inconvenience for them the way they are for you, then you're going to see their 2 colors, and that is what's going to help you get out of the situation with the 9 of Wands. You will be unrecognizable after this. Well, I mean, clearly the interruptions throughout this reading was annoying. It was literally my family testing my patience, and I'm like, okay, let's do this later. I'm in the middle of a reading and blah blah blah, but no, they have to address it right now. But anyways, So once you get through with this, it's going to be smooth, and I believe you got this. So um, yeah, that's all I had for you. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped some way or shape or form. Maybe you can just save this reading and come back to it again to make sense of it, and then I don't know, or if you want to comment or anything. But yeah, it's a little bit heavy for me as well. It took quite some time to understand what this concept is, and contradicting myself in specific situation, what would it mean for my spiritual growth and everything. But trust me, I literally would, I adore myself for choosing to be like that, or being a bitch basically. It helps you. So yeah, that's all I had for you. Thank you for watching, and all the very best. Hi my lovely dear pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is the magnet you chose, or maybe you chose this deck from the heart. You must have noticed that the view is completely different, so there is a backstory. And I did tell pile number 2 was like a little pile number 2 was a little bit chaotic because a lot of interruptions were happening. Usually these doesn't happen, and this is like a very optimal time for me to shuffle and to record a reading. But yet here we are today. Okay, so this is your energy check, and we'll see how you need to contradict yourself to be, or to be ahead in your spiritual journey. So you have, I release fear of the unknown. I can move forward with the energy and enthusiasm. First thing I'll tell you, pile number 3, you are someone who is a little bit, I would say, ahead of this concept, or you're already ahead in this concept. You're someone who's testing the water with this reading, or you're someone who's trying to gauge me as a tarot reader. I know, right? I'm like, what? But okay. You have my heart is open to feeling, expressing love, and then you have my mind creates a reflection of my physical world. I am at peace. You are here to have a fun time, okay? So let's see. So yeah, that was your energy check. Let's see how you can contradict yourself. Can I get one more? Thank you. You have Queen of Pentacles, 2 of Cups. Why do you think people disagree with you, pile number 3? My question to you would be, why do you think people disagree to you? I don't think this is visible. Can I move this behind? Is it visible now? Sort of. Okay. Well, I tried. Yeah, so anyways, my question was, why do you think people disagree to you, or why do you think that people would want to disagree with you? Of course, your answer is going to be, oh, because, I have a perspective, I have my own views, I have my experience as a guide, and, a lot of other things, right? Wait, let me just fix this. Okay, good enough. So yeah, so of course you have your own answers, and then of course me saying of course, like the title of this reading is of course. So I do feel like your biggest trigger lies in this, when people disagree with you, right? And it's something that specifically you triggered when or I would say you were challenged when when you share your experiences, or when you're being vulnerable with people, there is always like 4 or 5 people who tend to, I would say, disagree with you heavily. Now, when I tap into these people's energy, I know one thing for sure. Not only they themselves are unaware that they embody this role of a mirror, but they are also unaware that when someone speaks from experience, it has a different effect on you. So let's say I'm on the other side of the screen, right, and I'm telling these things to you, right? I get it. It's gonna impact you in a way. Maybe it's gonna land, or it's gonna be a complete fail, either or, right? But my job is to try to deliver, right, and share this thing with you, because this is something that is very lovely to learn. Sorry, I'm a spitz. Yeah, this is something very lovely to learn and embody, and it helps you detach basically to everything else, and then live a fullest life, I think. So I do feel like you being a tarot reader for like a larger number of group, uh, that trigger is stemming from something that you do not realize yet. Okay, because with the Two of Cups, I do see you looking at yourself, you're reflecting, you're doing your own thing, you're doing your rituals, your candle thingy, your bath salts and everything, right? Your cleansing, your cloves and whatnot, your crystals. One thing you don't realize is you have not given your experience, you and your experience, enough time to be on the same page. Okay, so what would it look like, right? Let's say, like I said in the beginning, I was talking, if you haven't watched, please watch the intro. But in the beginning, I was talking like what this concept meant to me and how this reading was inspired, right? So I was explaining like, okay, this reading was inspired because of a friend and da da da. So the way I encountered this was completely different. Okay, I had already embodied this, and then when I was trying to explain it to my friend, I was trying to explain what I would usually do in this situation, right? And then I coined these words, these statements, for her to better understand this, because in that very moment all I could think of is, listen, you're getting it all wrong. This is not what you do. I mean, you cannot give someone else more power than your own reality, in your own reality, right? So anyways, and that inspired me to use these words, like how do you contradict yourself, and how. So in this case, there is this experience that you've lived. Okay, you've gone through it, and then it has been immensely difficult for you to come out of it, right? So have you given yourself time and space to feel it, to move out of it, right? Or to even have this realization that this happened to me, am I immediately talking about, oh, the pain is not as compared to someone who's got it worse, or this could have gone worse, or I got divine direction and misdirection, whatever it is. Have you just like sat there and felt what you just went through? Because it's not fair, it's not acceptable. You are not supposed to be treated that way, because you are love, light and everything. You're literally sharing, you've got your own platform, so you definitely don't deserve that treatment, that whatever that happened to you. Since these people are responding in that same energy that caused all of that pain, I do feel like you contradicting yourself in a way where you become them and you understand your own pain. Okay, you verbalize, I would say, things that were so difficult that you just like alchemized into energy, and now you're doing tarot readings, now you've got your own platform, now you're famous, whatever it is. Okay, take it how it resonates. Are you able to do that? Here it's not more of a contradiction, it's more just sitting with what happened. Are you just turning everything spiritual lesson, spiritual that, spiritual this? No, sometimes it's like inhuman that what happened to you, it's not fair. That's it. So that's where you need to be human. Okay, So we're gonna step into what rewards are you getting from this contradiction. I don't know if it landed. I don't know if it did. If it did, please feel free to share your comments, your thoughts. I would love to hear it. And yeah, definitely do that. Subscribe. I like it how these cards are showing up in a different way now. Your Five of Swords. Oh, I like this. And you have the Lovers. So what rewards are you getting, honey? If you contradict yourself in this particular situation, and when I say contradict, it's just giving yourself some space, some healing to feel human and not a leader and not a healer or whatever spiritual title you associate yourself with, right? For a while. I'm not saying leave it completely, find a new profession. No. Just for a few days, can you look at what happened to you and just feel it humanly, right? Throw a tantrum, I would say, because I trust you. I trust your energy. I trust what you bring to the table. You're not someone who's going to do it at someone else's expense. You're going to make sure that you feel it. You thoroughly guide yourself out of this, I would say, darkness, but it looks like a closed box. All you need to do is open. So anyways, coming back to your rewards are, your haters are going to be drowned by literally spiritual warriors that believe in you. So you will have people who kind of defend you. It's either in front of you or behind your back. You are like an army of people. Literally the cheer came when I said army, so I would like to take that as a confirmation for you. You have literally an army of people who would love to defend you, okay? But that's only when you give yourself some space. Yeah bro, I was hurt. Why would you say something like that, how can you just wake up and be this, and you can just block this person or take them out, or you can be mean to them in the comments. You don't have to be the bigger person. You're definitely not. With Five of Swords and Judgment, I'm definitely getting bro, the people who would be defending you have such great comebacks. And again, with the Lovers, I feel like a harmony, balance, although this is giving me heavy Temperance, but we don't have the Temperance here. We do have Page of Cups and the Tower. So again, it's bringing yourself closer to your inner child, this technique, this method. Yeah, it's a good reward, I would say. People seeing your worth and behaving that way, and it's a good validation, I think. Again, not that your entire life revolves around it. I'm just saying it's a good thing once in a while, right? Again, that's my humanness speaking out loud, but giving it space to breathe. That's what is in question here. Okay, so that's all I had for you. I hope this made sense, and please share, comment, subscribe if this was your vibe, and I'll see you in my next reading. Bye.